At LabTwin, we revolutionize laboratory operations through intelligent solutions. Through the harmony of design and artificial intelligence, we really want to enhance laboratory workflows and setting the gold standards for scientific information. I'm Jeroen de Haas, I'm living in the Netherlands and I'm working for 2 decades in lab informatics, predominantly with the top tier ELN and LIMS vendors. I have a background in software engineering and at LabTwin I'm the head of product. What we see in general is that large language models are very good in assisting people in their everyday life. They can help scientists find specific information, summarize findings and writings, support the scientists with their daily tasks. What this means is that they can make scientists even more 10 times efficient than they do without these AI technologies. And it really enables them to focus on the tasks that are really important for them. AI, what we see also, is becoming more and more user-friendly, and when we add their voice-powered interface to it, interaction with those AI technologies will become much more interactive and much more user-friendly. And we, as LabTwin, have our digital assistant, and we are very good positioned to leverage all these technologies. So personal assistants up to now were very limited to only to CEOs or high-level management. But now, due to AI, that personal assistant becomes available for a scientist. So imagine somebody that takes notes for you, writes reports, scans your documents, or even gives you answers or helps you book your instruments, all by voice. Yeah, so AI is just part of the 3 pillars that we are building on into LabTwin that builds up the intelligent digital voice assistant. So the pillars are enabling scientific intelligence, integration with the lab informatics landscape, and supporting regulated environments. Scientific intelligence, what we want to do there is really power the foundation models to acquire scientific knowledge, provide intelligent insight, and assist researchers in their experiments and data analysis. So that's where AI takes part of. The integration, of course, is very important because without integration, being a standalone tool, we cannot really leverage also the AI models, and that's why that pillar is very important. And like what you heard in the vision, regulated environment is something that we are necessarily need to support because that's where we also have the much power. So here at LabTwin, we have some of the brightest data scientists in the industry working for our excellent voice models for taking the intelligent digital voice assistants to the next level. So over the last 5 years, we have seen many operational data and gained insight in what actually the needs are for those scientists. So really now is the time to use and build the data-centered features that can fulfill the need for the scientists and their data that they have. One of the features you can think about is protocol ingestion. With this feature, you can take a standard operation procedure and which you currently have into a Word doc or a PDF and transform that automatically in a voice-guided protocol. That protocol is then be voice-guided in the ear of the scientist while he works hands-free at the lab bench. Another use case where you can use this is using natural voice where we can capture structured data completely hands-free. So what we do with our intelligent voice assistant is really then detecting the entities and we structure the data without presetting information upfront. Another use case could be the auto-report function for method development. So you go into the lab, you take free notes, you capture observations, you capture your metadata, add pictures, and you create a report out of that. That report could then be the import again for your protocol, which you can use for voice guidance. And imagine how we could optimize experimental design, execution, and the analysis for researchers with this technology of AI. When you have an existing protocol, it's always very difficult to change such protocols because you need to go into the master data and you need to change this. If you use AI, you could leverage previous protocols that you have to create new protocols. So it can also predict what next steps there need to be done. So for example, I add a measure of pH and then it adds 3 other steps that I know that I have done in previous protocols. So that has the benefit of you can quickly change your master data and of course adding those voice guided features that you would need for your intelligent digital voice assistant. And what we have discovered in our 5 years existence is, and especially talking to clients, is that we see the need for questions to be answered by scientists that they have during their daily work. They want to be able to interact in a smart way, getting answers to those questions. So our aim at LabTwin to really build a companion that is close to the knowledge that the lab individuals have, and how to compile that knowledge into lab answers that they have and make those answers accessible for everyone in their group. And actually, over the last years, we have built a foundation that is really supporting this kind of queries. And AI technology can really help us accelerate implementations faster than ever before. But of course, those features are just the tip of the iceberg of what's coming next. As our digital voice assistant has been deployed in big pharma, we always get the question around security and about sensitive scientific data. What we do similar with AI technologies is also how we do it with our voice model, and that is really striving for the best security measures in place. So that means that we will never expose scientific data to the public. Our models are built leveraging 3 layers of data. So they build on public data, scientific data, and organizational data. And all those 3 levels have their own levels of security. So if a scientist is using the digital voice assistant, we make sure that the request is fully compliant with the organization and within the regulatory rules. So of course, our first focus is really the intelligent digital voice assistant that really becomes the ultimate companion for scientists. That means that it can be used in and outside the lab and can help scientists throughout their day. But of course, what we need to do for that is really to integrate in the lab ecosystems of our customers. So that means that technical and commercial partnerships need to be set up. They are crucial, and of course, important steps have already been made. With those integrations, we not only get access to the other systems data, but we can also use that other systems data to solve AI use cases that we see customers need. Our data scientists are really itching to crack many of those use cases, and we are already offering services to leverage their knowledge in our organization. So actually, the future starts now.